G'day, welcome to Farming Simulator.
Hello again. Today, I'll be taking you through the basics of Farming Simulator, a game about mechanized agriculture. The base game is playable on its own, but it isn't really fun, so the best way to play this game is with a lot of mods, which allows you to go from farming dirt to a multi-factory miniature farming empire with all the equipment you'll need in between. But first, let's get back to where I am. I have chosen this map called No Man's Land, created by the talented modder Alien Jim, which has been designed for the type of gameplay called survival by the community of Farming Simulator. What makes this way of playing the game so great is the highly addictive sense of accomplishment when you upgrade your equipment and expand your operations. From a Massey Ferguson 135 with a stout 45 horsepower, to a Case International Steiger 620 producing over 600 horsepower pulling a 30-meter seed drill. You start out with $100,000, this plot of land and everything on it, including all this equipment in this shed, the trees, a field with a failed crop of potatoes, and a lot of grass. All the gear in the shed is old and worn out, and continuing to use it would require frequent repairs. So I sold it all since you can't overhaul equipment to reduce how often you go repair equipment. As the field hasn't been used for a while and has some space I'd like to use the space I would have to plough it. This will turn over the soil bearing all the organic matter and weed seeds. The field also requires calcium carbonate, the stuff also known as field lime, to adjust the soil pH. So I spread the lime with a drop spreader because the stuff is literally powdered rock and very heavy. After this, I put in the cover crop to improve the soil condition and because I want to plant sugar beet for my first crop. In real life, cover crops are used to cover the soil, minimizing erosion, and since the crop is usually worked back into the soil, it feeds the soil biome. Sugar beet has a high profitability, made higher by processing it into sugar. But because it's the middle of summer, I can't plant it right now. So I put in the cover crop, which was supposed to be oilseed radish, but I didn't check and accidentally planted grass, which is easy to do since the game uses the same seeds for everything. This doesn't matter as I can take a cut of hay off the field and then roll it to maximize the soil condition. Grass can be cut and then collected with a forage wagon and then put into a pit to make silage, or baled, and then those bales are wrapped in plastic cling film to keep the air outside, allowing the grass to ferment, thus preserving it. Or you can spread the grass out with a tedder, allowing it to dry, making hay. My tractor doesn't have enough horsepower to run a round baler to produce the smallest bale that can be wrapped in the game, 8 foot by 8 foot round bales, or 1¼ meter round bales. So could make pit silage or small square bales. Well, yes, you can sell bulk pit silage in the game. The way you'd do that in real life is sell it for immediate use, since silage goes bad after a while being exposed to air. Plus, I would need the equipment to spread and compact the grass in the pit. And it's a pain to transport loose forage, so hay bales it is, which leads me to my next problem. I have a small sawmill constructed because of all the trees on my land, and milling the wood into timber would be more profitable than just selling the wood. So after buying the gear for arable farming, including the tractor, supplies for the arable farm, such as seed, fertilizer, and field lime, a flatbed for transporting the gear to my farm, and equipment to make hay, I didn't have enough money to buy a baler and bale trail for transporting the hay. So I started cutting down some of the trees I have to sell immediately, delimbing and cutting to lengths of 6 meters for a good sale price. Once I have enough for a baler and wagon, the rest of the trees will be milled into timber for greater income.